Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who poppin', we poppin', we major.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show where anything goes. I'm your host, Mark Vargas, and you're tuned into the Center Lock Show. And today, man, hey, first off, I want to give a round of applause to everybody who got drafted, everybody who got picked up, everybody who got signed. And you know what? We got somebody who did get picked up and is going all the way from BYU, but from Orange County, California, all the way to Buffalo, New York. My boy, my brother, Neil Pauu.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, just congratulations, bro. I mean, it's a lot of hard work. I know, we'll get into your story. I mean, graduating high school back in 2014 to your mission to going to BYU, playing at BYU. I mean, the world changing with COVID. And then now, your world changing now going to Buffalo. But I mean, the first thing I just want to get into, bro, is how did it feel this weekend, man? Just, get in there. I don't know how it went down, whether it was a call, whether it was like, your agent hit you up, or I don't know, maybe just go into detail how everything went down this weekend.
Yeah. So for guys that kind of knew that they would go like maybe 6, 7 to undrafted, you kind of don't watch the draft, so you don't get your nervous system or your nerves all riled up and stuff. So I didn't watch the first or second day, and then I didn't watch most of the third day until the 5th round, because I knew that's when our running back would get picked up, hopefully. And luckily I'd worked out and did stayed busy. So when I got back home, right when I turned on my TV to watch it to see if he got picked up, he had just got picked up like the next pick. So then I'm like, dang, that's dope. And then, my nerves started getting it. I'm like, damn, why even get a shot? And that's all you're looking for at that point.
Yeah.
So I just decided, I'm going to wind down. I'm going to take a shower and I'm going to just watch it. Probably 10 minutes in, I went to sleep. So I was probably asleep for it felt like for almost 2 hours, or probably like 30 to 45 minutes. I left my phone on and stuff. And, my agent was in constant contact with me. So we were talking about teams leading up to the draft, where we could possibly land, where we could possibly go to just go and compete. And I can do just that. So I woke up to a call from him, and he was like, hey, these certain teams have reached out to me. I like the Bills. And he was like, I think that's the best fit for you. I think that's where we should go. How do you like it? And I was just excited. I said yes automatically because it was just an opportunity. But I also did my research on certain teams that possibly I could go to before, and where I would want to go just based on scheme and offense and my playing ability, aside from what my agent did. So when he had told me about Buffalo, they only drafted one guy in the 5th round. So I was just stoked. And it didn't really hit me because then I texted my family group chat and I was like, hey, let me confirm before I give all y'all the business. Yeah. And then when I confirmed with them, we had went to Cheesecake Factory later that night to kind of celebrate, just family and stuff. And when I got there, that's where it kind of hit me. So it hit me almost 4 or 5 hours later. But that's where it hit me, where like, damn, I'm really going there and stuff. So I kind of fulfilled the weekend and was super dope to be a part of, for sure.
I mean, that's that to be, to go to a situation like Buffalo, right? They're on the, I don't even want to say on the up and up. I mean, they've been on the up and up for a while now. The Bills Mafia is going wild over there.
Exactly.
They're getting a new stadium. Everything's that's a place to be. And to be in a situation where, I'm pretty sure what you were just saying, like you kind of have a few different options, maybe, a few different routes you can go. And what attracts you to Buffalo? What when you see that, like you said, schematically, maybe it's personnel wise, but like, what makes somebody from an Orange County, a beach boy, go all the way across? That you're really going from one point of the country all the way to the other. What goes on in your head in a decision like that? Is it something that you knew right away? or is it something that just, just like kind of like you said, just felt right?
Yeah, I think it's just something that just feels right. At that point, you have to decide pretty quickly on where you want to go when you get signed as a free agent or whatever. But because just I did my homework and they were looking for a slot. They had gotten rid of Cole Beasley. Although they drafted someone that played both inside and outside at Boise State. I felt that I could just not only compete with him, but also compete with the guys that are there.
Yeah.
Knowing how much I played in the slot and what it takes to be in the slot and how kind of the NFL is kind of going right now with a lot of bigger slots, kind of taking over with Chris Godwin and Cooper Kupp. Not knowing how big he was, but he's actually a pretty big dude there in the slot. So me just knowing what I know, just how to play the slot and how to block ends and linebackers, I knew it could work. So now just when the opportunity was given to go there and be given to an opportunity to compete, I'm going to just take that and run with it. And then just trust myself and my work ethic that whatever it is they put me up to, I'll take care of business what I need to take care of.
That's right, man. I mean, it's an exciting time. What's one thing you can if I'm a Buffalo Bills fan and I'm tuning
Yeah.
into this podcast right now, what's one thing I can expect that you'll bring to the team, that you'll bring, whether it's to the practice field, whether it's to the just to the organization? What's one thing that you bring, you can hang your hat on, and what's one thing that they can expect out of you?
Yeah, they're going to get a competitor, someone that likes to compete, and someone that that'll make the big play. And the big play is not always the big time catches for a touchdown. At BYU, we were taught that there's the play, and then there's also the play. There's two different types of plays where a running back can go and he gained 15 yards, but the real play could have been if I had blocked the safety, the dude I was supposed to block. Now spring it for 30, or maybe that breaks the run for an 80-yard touchdown. So those different types of plays are third down, completions if they double up, Stefan or Gabriel over there. If they were to double those guys up or whoever it is, that I'm going to win my one-on-one matchup. So, those type of plays I'll bring to keep the chains moving and stuff, but also just someone that likes to compete, not only in the pass game, but also in the run game. So they'll see me, if I make it long enough and be able to hang with the guys and be out there with Buffalo, they'll get someone that'll block their tails off and just wants to win at the end of the day.
I'm a Steelers fan, so anytime I hear a player talk like that, I'm
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
excited, man. I'm ready to run through
That's
a
the
wall right
tradition
now,
right
man.
there.
But what's another thing? I mean, we have to touch on it. Josh Allen,
Mhm.
what's the opportunity, or I guess in your head? I mean, that's probably making a big part of your decision is being able to possibly go play with Josh Allen.
Mhm.
What's one thing you see it out of him, and you just maybe your eyes get a little big or whatever. What's the one thing that
Yeah.
you see like that just you can't wait to see in person?
I think it's probably his arm talent. I think everybody hears about it and stuff, and you see certain throws that he just makes, and it looks so casual. That I'm excited to see the windows, the balls that get fitted in. I saw a little bit with Zach when I played with Zach before he declared, and then last year was what it was. But when you have arm talents like Zach, but especially Josh Allen and what he's done so far in the league, you can only be excited to see what you'll see in practice. Because sometimes the best plays that happen in practice no one else gets to see. As like
Yeah.
there's just some things some people can do that you just can't teach, and I'm excited just to see that.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, just to think about how many plays happen in practice, you're just like, man,
Yeah.
those are the plays you tell like stories about. You're like, hey,
Exactly.
one time we were in practice. I mean, this and this happened. Oh, what? No, that didn't happen. Hey, you can ask you over here calling your
Yeah.
homeboy up, or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to that, man. Bills Mafia, you're gonna get a stud. I mean, he's gonna bring. I mean, I mean, we'll get further into it right now, but I mean, just I guess the poly mindset, bro. Like, you guys are just hard workers, man. Like
Yeah.
every from Buena Park to when I was up in Chicago, back to Santa Ana, and
Yeah.
all over everywhere else. I mean, you just see like it's that mindset, whether it's you guys. I mean, it does come down to the way you guys were raised, like you guys really all. I mean, Samoan, Tongans, Hawaiians. I mean, everybody I've been with, man, those are just hardest workers on the team, and they're gonna bring it, every single play, every single rep. I mean, is that something you carry with you throughout everywhere you go?
Yeah. I think that's probably not only heritage, but growing up in California, just like with the jersey behind you,
Yes, sir.
everybody that grew up in California, they're Laker fans and Laker fans only, really. And everybody, oh, everybody a Kobe fan. So Kobe, was my biggest inspiration, not like including football.
Mhm.
And so everything that he did, I wanted to emulate. So even throughout high school and when I got to college was whatever he did, I'm going to try to do it the same way and give it my all type deal. So, when I decided from high school that, football's the route I want to go, I just put that same mindset he put into basketball, into football. And it's gotten me to this point and got me an opportunity. So we're just going to continue that on and ride that as long as we can.
Absolutely, man. I know we kind of touched it right now, but I mean, coming out of Orange County, Servite High School,
Yeah.
I went to Mater Dei my freshman year, but family grew up Mater Dei, Servite. That's been the two powerhouses in Orange County for pretty much forever, almost.
Yeah.
Like, um, so much tradition there, from I guess from back. I mean, you can just count the players that have gone through there. I mean, the coaches that have gone through there. What's one thing that you can say Servite High School like helped you prepare for everything that you're seeing today that you'll see in the future?
Yeah. I think it taught me not only team wise, but you can apply that team camaraderie just in like the workplace as well. It's just building bonds and friendships. You don't know where it might take you and where it might lead you. With some people, even some of the weirdest people that people might think that love anime or whatever it is. I was able to meet a lot of people with different types of personalities, and I was able to adapt and be able to be friends with some guys that I didn't think I would be friends with even after high school and after college type deal. So I've just carried that with me and just try to build relationships while I'm here at BYU. Not only to, produce the best talent and team on Saturdays, but also, friendships that will last after this, where football's all done and we just have our families and I just want to go kick it with some guys. That's what I've kind of taken from Servite and what it's taught me. And hopefully I can just, pass that on to others as well.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, it's one thing. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're seeing it too. Is like Orange County, man. I mean, we're kind of the little brother to LA. We're kind of like the cousin to the IE. I mean, the IE
Yeah.
gets like three different counties involved. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. All cool.
Yeah, they're all one. So OC is just kind of there, and I feel like, I mean, for a while we've been on a come up, with his players coming in and out of, South County all the way up to North County. I mean, we got, Jalen and Nick doing their thing. I mean,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
be doing your thing up in Buffalo. I mean, Ryan Nelson just got invited to the Giants camp. I mean, there's players all around that are just, I mean, all the Mater Dei cast. I mean, all the, the Olu cast, like there, I mean, all across the board, there's the OCs just growing, and it's cool to see, and
Yeah.
I mean, I bet for you, when especially when you're wherever you're playing at, what city, whatever. I mean, to have that brotherhood across, you know, 32 different teams, however many states, like, is that something that you feel like you're carrying now as well?
Yeah. A little bit. I think not only that, but it's just probably my family's last name. Whenever you carry that, it'll dive into, when you carry that last name, they'll want to look more into it. Then they'll look into what high school did he go to?
Yeah.
What college did he go to? Where did he grow up in the OC? And it kind of gives a good resemblance of, who he is and where he grew up and that kind of story that you share, through your play type deal. And maybe even people might want to move there. So it
Hey,
could
we
go
we
a
we
bunch of different
can't
ways.
we can't talk about the last night without talking about some of the other Paus, man. Well,
Yeah,
what did they? I mean, being I guess what you're one of the younger ones, right? I mean,
yeah.
are you the youngest or?
No, probably like the second to third to youngest.
So I mean, you came up, right? And then you got some
Yeah.
following you. What does that mean to you? Like what like really, I mean, at the end of the day, that's you, What does that mean to you right there?
It's cool. I haven't thought about it much, but it's just cool just to see the younger generation, um, try to emulate the same thing. But where I'm at, I just hope that they surpass me as well. Hopefully they go on and have great college careers and get drafted high, whatever it is. You always just wish the best for the younger generation. Hopefully you're able just to influence them in whatever way possible. And hopefully I left a big enough influence on them for them just to follow.
That's right. That's right. I mean, one more thing we'll touch before we go on our little break. Um, Coach K, man, like how playing under him. I mean,
Yeah.
from on my side, watching all these games,
Mm-hmm.
seeing the rise of BYU. I mean, throughout. I mean, it's pretty much since he's really been there. Like the amount of uh, time and amount of effort he's put into really creating something at BYU. Um, what I mean, if you can put into some words, playing for him, what
Yeah.
what what would you say? Like, I mean, if I'm a kid coming out of high school, or if I'm a fan just wanting to know what am I going to get out of Coach K, man?
Yeah. Coach Kalani is probably what everybody says that you read in articles, that you hear in articles. He's personable, he's down to earth. He loves his players, but he also loves his coaches. A lot of the things that he does, he lets the coaches coach. He doesn't, try to be the dictator over a lot of things, and he lets the leaders lead. So that's the way he's trying to build up a culture, and that's what he's done. So it's not him always dictating the final answer type deal. He feels that if he can allow his coaches to coach and trust them, then we can move on in a better way. But also, it's just cool not only to see that side, but also how his game and his coaching philosophy has evolved as well. From being standoffish to trying to take a little more responsibility, and he's a defensive guy, so in the defense and what they can do to improve, but also he hired guys to do their job, so he's allowing them to do their job as well. So it's just cool just to play with the coach that is going to go to bat for you, that's going to fight for you. Also just going to kick it with you in a locker room type deal. So you get both sides of Kalani. And then when you see him out in public type deal, he's never afraid to say hi and come kick it with you guys for a little bit as well with his family and stuff. So it's been dope just to be there for 5 years that I was with him, 4, not counting the year I got suspended or whatever. But yeah, it's been way cool to be with him.
I mean, any any moments that stick out that you could say, what, that was one of my favorite moments, maybe at BYU, or one of my favorite games. Anything like that?
I think it was probably the COVID year. The COVID year made us all kind of bond in a way that's like any other year. It was just different. There's no fans. Everybody had to bring their whole hype to the games and their own energy to the games, and he brought the most energy most of the time. So it was cool just to see him like throughout practice and throughout games, just be the hype man for us, and just cheer with us. But also when we lost to Coastal, also be sad with us as well, because he knew something was special that year as well. So it was just cool just to see how. I think he even had to dive in deeper to try to bring the most out of us, because usually we get, our energy comes from fans and the boos and all that type of stuff. And he was able just to bring something else that was different. So that whole year probably was something memorable to me for sure.
I mean, you guys were picking up games, like the weekend before. I mean, how did that go? Because that Coastal Carolina game, that wasn't on your schedule. I mean, nobody expected that game to happen. I mean, then it just how did that go? Like, did you guys know like something was cooking, or is that something that just, you went into the meeting that day and coach was like, hey, we're playing the game this week, or how did that go?
Yeah, so that year, all our games that got canceled pretty much. So we went up until I think like the first or second week in August, like fall camp,
Yeah.
and they're like, all right, well, we'll let you guys know whatever happens. So they finally get us a schedule, and we're stoked to have the games. And that week of Coastal Carolina, or that game gets canceled. So then we're sitting in meetings and we practice, and we're just like, all right, we don't know who we're playing. Like, and it's Wednesday meetings. So we practice Monday, practice Tuesday, and we're all just like, dude, we're just out here for free, practicing for no reason, no game. Then he comes in like Wednesday meetings, and he's like, we kind of heard speculation like through Twitter and through Instagram, like what could happen, what might possibly happen. Also having Zach as QB, everything kind of runs through him. So he was telling us what's kind of going on in the background. And then we had heard like Coastal Carolina, and they were like, we're only going to have really one day to practice. So, we just got to get ready for it. We don't know what's to do for you guys for Wednesday. So he gave it off to us. And Thursday we came back, we practiced, and, we felt good. We were just stoked because we're like, all right, we got another game. We knew what kind of team we had. We kind of knew that team they were, but we also knew what we could bring as well. So when we heard about that game, we felt good, and it was a dope game to be a part of for sure. We had fans there, so their fans there wasn't as packed as if there was no COVID, because it probably would have been sold out.
Yeah,
but that game was dope. It was dope to go across the country on a 1-day notice, pretty much 1-day practice. And go play our butts off. So it was cool.
I mean, that's awesome right there. But we're going to take a quick break. But before we take that quick break, man, I know you said you were a Kobe fan. I mean, you are a
Yeah.
Kobe fan. Will always be a Kobe fan. That's
Yeah.
how it is in SoCal. I mean, for everybody listening,
Exactly.
Kobe is part of the culture. I mean, it's the Lakers, and then there's also Kobe. Kobe is the Lakers. Lakers are Kobe. It's just interchangeable, But I'm gonna throw a lob to you right now. All right. So
Yeah.
you and Kobe, same team. All right. What two players would you want to play, and do you think you can give the work to?
Oh, what two players? So it'll be a 2-on-2.
2-on-2. First to 11. Back in the day on the blacktop.
Yeah.
Double rims, everything.
Yeah. I think I would want, to me and Kobe, I think I would want to play Jordan, just to see those two go at it. Because you just see all the things that everybody talks about type deal and see the comparisons. So I'd want to see those two go at it. And if it's not, I wouldn't mind putting myself up against LeBron and seeing how I do. But I would want anybody from the Utah Jazz or the Lakers. I think I could dominate anybody. Maybe besides Karl Malone, just because he's way bigger. But other than that, even like Donovan Mitchell, anybody in the starting five Jazz this year, like I think I would hold my own against them.
Bro, I was hoping I remember when they were playing the last series, and you're like, man, I can do what he can do. And
exactly.
You were talking about
Royce O'Neal.
Yes,
you're like, out there.
You're like, I can do what he can do. I was hoping you were gonna say like Rudy and Spider. I was like, man, please say it. Please say it. Go after me, man.
But I think Spider can get it too. He came to a game, I think against Virginia this past year, and when he walked by, I made sure that he knew this was Laker Nation over here, and you could just get on going out of here, because I really don't care for the Jazz. So I just had to let him know Laker Nation, whether you heard it or not. I just had to let him know.
Hey, you see that? I mean, that's Laker Nation, and people can hate on it all they want, but it is what it is.
Exactly.
Hey, it don't matter. We ain't in the playoffs, but we still be. We know the Lakers still win it. They just taking a break. Getting healthier.
For sure.
LeBron's just taking a break. That's all it is. AD's getting healthy. We'll be back. But we'll take a quick break. When we come back, I ain't gonna let Neil off the hook, man. We're gonna make some NBA playoff picks, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about Buffalo. So
Yes, sir.
stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Use promo code Sideline10 to receive 10% off all of your graphic design needs, logos, pictures, business cards, anything that you need. Contact Matthew Cifuentes at Matt2Siffy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Center Lock Show. We're still right here with our boy Neil. And you know what? Hey, Neil, it's okay. Utah's out, Nobody
Yeah.
was nobody was even watching them play at all, It was everybody was tuning in to see what Dallas was gonna do.
For
But
sure.
now it's a new era in the NBA. It's kind of cool to see, like we grew up and I feel like the West was always it was ruthless. You
Yeah.
had Baby Mello, Kobe. CP3 with New Orleans was killing it.
Yeah.
Who else? AI was with Denver. There were so many back then. LeBron's always been doing his thing, but
Yeah.
to see the new era of Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards in the last round.
For sure.
Any other young studs that you watch and you're like, man, they're gonna be the next ones.
Yeah, I think Jordan Poole, he can break out and do his
Yeah,
thing. Obviously we see what Luka's doing, but it'll be cool to see, how far he can take it on an international level. Yeah, but then you just mentioned the guys like Ja and even LaMelo being from Chino Hills, and Anthony Edwards type deal. So I think
Tatum as well.
Tatum, and I love Booker's game. Although I don't know where he ranks on the age
Yeah.
range or whatever, but his game is flawless. I think he scores on 3 levels type deal. So yeah, I think the NBA is in good hands for sure.
Definitely. Just seeing it's crazy. It's kind of like they recreate the past, you kind of,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if it's a fan thing or you just kind of compare people, like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that reminds me of so and so. Like, I know the comparisons are, you got Ja and AI, and you got,
Uh,
Tatum. And I think it's an unfair comparison, but the game's there. The
yeah,
similarities between Tatum and Kobe, just kind of, I always feel like Tatum's the next era of Laker basketball. If we can,
yeah,
I don't know how. I don't know if you saw this before the season. They did like the recreated pictures of
yeah, yeah,
iconic moments. If I'm a
yeah,
Celtics fan and I see Jason Tatum in a Lakers jersey, bro, whoa, my mind is blown. Like I don't even understand how that got cleared. Like maybe
yeah.
it's just the Kobe pass, but man, that's some bad blood right there. Celtics
No, for
Lakers.
sure.
But yeah, I always feel like Tatum will be the next after Bron and AD.
Mhm.
I'm doing whatever I can to bring Tatum to the Lakers, man, to have him have his shot to pair him up with somebody. But
Yeah.
um, these playoffs, man, who do you think is gonna make a run out of everybody left?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to see because when the playoffs started, I had the Suns, and then I had Milwaukee before the playoffs started. Obviously, with Chris Middleton, I think it leaves the Bucks vulnerable because the Celtics are really good. But I think if they had Chris Middleton, that the series would go 6 and Milwaukee would win it still. But if I had to make a prediction, I'm gonna go with the Suns um, to win the West, and then I think I'm gonna go and stick with my Bucks. So I have a repeat of last year's finals. I think Giannis is on another level, and he'll find his footing a little bit against that defense that the Celtics play. But yeah, no, I think I have those two kind of a rerun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough for anybody to really. As you see, Golden State and Memphis. I think that's going 7.
Yeah,
After last night's, it's tough, if Ja can give you that. But the thing with Memphis is, I mean, they got dogs all across the board. I mean,
Yeah.
same thing with Golden State. Golden State's I mean, one thing I'll say for sure I realized about Golden State, man, we lost some very, I guess, like just so many good years with Clay. Those 2 years without Clay, I mean,
Yeah.
just seeing him back is just like, whoa, that team's just on a different level. I mean, now with
For
the
sure.
emergence of Jordan Poole, I mean,
Yeah.
like, damn, like Golden State, if they can make a run this year, I mean, I mean, I would put them up there with some of the dynasties, like, the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, the Lakers, the Celtics.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah, for sure.
that run that they've had, Steph's had, I mean, that core of a team, Steph, Draymond, Clay, I mean, Iguodala, that core of a team. I mean, even with the few years KD was there,
For
I
sure.
mean, if that's just one thing watching the games. I'm like, yo, yeah, if Clay doesn't get hurt, I mean, that Kawhi
We've been
doesn't have a ring. Like
yeah.
it's almost like if you can see the history rewritten right there. I mean,
Yeah.
just how he came back. I mean, it's gonna be a fun series, and at
Yeah.
the end of the day, like I got Golden State coming. I got Golden State coming out of the West. I just
Yeah.
think I think there'll be a 7-game series, 6 or 7 for sure with Memphis.
Yeah.
And then, I don't doubt Luka. I think Luka can get some games against Phoenix,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I got Golden State beating Phoenix. Again might be in 6 or 7, but it's just that's shooting. Like it's hard to beat
Yeah.
a team that can get hot. You know how it
Yeah.
is. It's just, man, I mean, anybody, I mean, Steph goes cold. Clay's there. If Clay goes cold, now
Yeah.
Poole's there. You
Back
know what
and
I mean?
forth. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they got Wiggins, they got Draymond. I mean, they got what's the other cat? I mean, well, they just lost Gary Payton Jr. and that was a big part of their
Oh,
roster. But
yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
overall, I mean, it's just you got shooters. You know what I mean? Shooters like that. They're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then out of the East, man, I think people sleeping on Miami.
You got him.
I think people sleeping on Miami. I mean, I would love to. I mean, that'd be a fun series. I think a Golden State, Miami. I think they're very contrasting. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
Miami is going to go and try to. I mean, same thing with Milwaukee, but I think Miami would just try to go in for like try to beat them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that. I mean, I don't know if that would be like the ideal finals situation you have. You know what I mean? But I would love to see like what's his face from I can't even think of his name right now. Lowry, Butler, them trying to go
Yeah.
for their ring,
For sure.
against the Warriors. I think that would be a fun
That'll be
series.
a fun series.
Um, but yeah, man, I mean, it's gonna be a good couple weeks. I mean, probably got like 2 months left of the NBA playoffs, feels like, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. So you got Milwaukee. How many in 4, 5, 6, or 7?
I got the Suns. So when they go there, I
Oh,
actually
okay.
have the Suns winning.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
and how many games?
I want Chris Paul to win, but also just because I've watched more from last year and tuned in to Devin Booker, I just love his mindset, the way that he attacks the game. I feel like it's also Kobe-esque,
Yeah, definitely.
along with Tatum, that they just want it, and he's gonna go get it. But obviously it's a battle of who stays injury free type deal. So we'll see who stays the healthiest. And if Chris Middleton doesn't come back in time, I wouldn't be surprised if it is Miami or if it is the Celtics getting there instead.
Definitely, man. So with that being said, we're gonna take another quick transition into Buffalo again, man. What's one thing out of non-football? What's one thing you're looking forward to seeing in Buffalo, man?
I don't know. I don't know much about Buffalo. When I went to go train out for my pro day and stuff out at PA, and stuff, it was pretty just to see all the trees and stuff. So it'll be cool to see, more trees. I'm guessing, I don't know. But other than that, I don't know nothing about Buffalo. Just excited to get out there.
That's right. I mean, I don't really know much about Buffalo either, but I know you're gonna have that fan base is nuts, man. They're wild. They bleed, sweat, eat everything Buffalo Bills. I mean,
For sure.
I think they got a hockey team up there too, but Yeah, man. I mean that's gonna be exciting thing for. I mean, how was the transition from OC to as a Provo? Is it Provo? Provo? How do you
Um,
say it?
yeah, Provo. Yeah, it's different. It's different in the aspect of probably religion. In Cali, it's wide variety. When you
Mhm.
come to Utah, it's predominantly Mormon or LDS. So that was different. To Although I am Mormon, but to come here and experience, there's different types of levels of religion.
Oh
They
yeah,
all might be,
absolutely.
all might be Catholics or they all might be Methodists, but there's different types of those guys.
Yeah.
So, coming here, experiencing that, also experiencing, no beach, no cool breeze coming in type deal, and having to deal with more drier air. But it was also cool to, take a couple hikes that I have and get up into the mountains and see those type of views compared to just, a sunset or a sunrise type of view. So it has its pros, it also has its cons. But it's been dope just to be here for as long as I have.
Did it snow up in Provo? Yeah, Provo. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure it does. And so far it hasn't snowed. The winters haven't been too bad, but it does get cold.
Are you prepared for Buffalo? Are you?
See, that's also a different type of cold. So there's different levels of cold and
There's
um
cold and then there's cold, man. When I was in
cold.
Chicago,
Yeah,
man, when you look at the temperature and they got a little dash in front of the number, and
exactly.
that's not the wind chill, that's the temperature right there. Oh my gosh,
No,
I
exactly.
mean that cold air slap. I mean, you felt it walking out of
Yeah,
the dorm on the way to class. You get punched in the face by by coldness, man. But
yeah. No, I agree because when I was in PA, there was it got to like -15 a couple nights. So, being out in Buffalo and seeing the game that they had where it was like 30 degrees miles per hour wind when they played the Patriots, like
yeah.
that's something I don't even know. I don't think I can prepare for. I'm going to just take it for what it is. And when it happens, it happens. Hopefully it doesn't, and we'll go from there.
What's one thing you'll take from Cali to Buffalo and try to maybe spread the love out there? I mean, well, what's the one thing
Yeah.
you'll take?
It's probably that, like you said, that Cali love.
That's
My
right.
swag's gonna be a little different. When I was out in PA and everybody came from the South or from the East Coast, they kind of knew that I was from Cali after I told them. And then, just the music. Everybody listens to, on the East Coast, they probably were gonna listen to a lot of Pop Smoke, but guys that I worked out with, they only listen to like Future and Lil Baby. And I don't mind those, and Young Thug. I don't mind those guys, but also, get introduced to some other music type deal. So we'll try to bring the mass out.
What's on the pregame playlist? What's on
Oh,
with the head when you put the beats on when you're hitting the field, man? What's on the playlist?
yeah, mine is a big variety. So some days it just depends on what I'm feeling. Sometimes I might listen to country, I might listen to R&B only. But most of the time, I'll listen to blast up until we're right where we're about to warm up, and then when we warm up, it's Lil Baby from there. So we'll listen to Future and Thug a little bit while we're getting warm and stuff. But right when we get into routes on air,
Yeah.
it's all Lil Baby from there.
Once
And
you hit
Lil
the
Baby gets
field, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. See,
yeah,
I was the same way. I was not a rah type of music player. You know what I mean? I'm listening. So like my pregame playlist, I had to listen to. I mean, you're familiar with the song Hotel California.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was in my every pregame, like when you're getting taped up,
yeah,
right
yeah.
after post game meal, you're getting taped. That was on my beats. You can't get too amped up before. You
Exactly.
gotta soothe it in, like you said, you got a little bit of R&B, a little bit of
Yeah,
country. I mean, that's the proper way to do it. Because
yeah.
if the game starts at 5 o'clock and it's 12 in the afternoon and you got, what I mean, you're
You're
already
too
jamming
hyped.
out,
Yeah.
come 3 o'clock, you're gonna be tired,
No, for
you're gonna
sure.
feel stressed out, man. I mean, there's been times, I mean, see, that was always the funniest thing. I mean, being on a team and you see somebody just overhyped themselves, and then
Yeah, it'd be a lot.
yeah, you're like, man, relax, man. But that's a cool thing, man. Going to Buffalo, it's gonna be uh, not just hopefully everything works out and you have a long, great career playing ball, but I mean, that's something you'll be able to say that like. you've seen a different part of the country, a different part of the
Yeah,
world in a way,
for
you know,
sure.
is like you can't get anything like that instead of just living it. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
that's an experience that you'll be able to, like I said, hopefully you're there for the next 20 years. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I mean that's something that you'll be able to just pass on, like you said, pass on to that next generation. You'll be able to
No, exactly.
improve as a person just because you're just getting out there, meeting new people and seeing new customs and seeing different cultures. I mean, and as it is already like playing in college ball, I mean, how many different people from across the country? I mean,
Yeah,
even
for sure.
even your team, I mean, you guys are pulling people from different countries and stuff like that too,
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, man, just congrats, bro. Like that, it's gonna be a
Thank
great.
you.
I mean, I've seen you go from Servite to all the way through. We said earlier, I mean, two different, the world basically ending with COVID and everything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I mean, you're not a kid, you know what I mean? You're
yeah,
ready
for
to
sure.
go, you're ready for business, So
No,
I
exactly.
mean, you're gonna do big things out in Buffalo. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap this up. But as always, we have our questions to end the podcast.
Of
So
course.
you ready, man? I'm gonna throw some I got some for you right now.
Let's
All right.
get it.
All right. So you can only pick one meal to eat the rest of your life. What's that meal?
Oh, um, dang. So there could be multiple things with it, or is it just one thing?
That's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm the same way, like a Thanksgiving plate, you know what I mean? You got
yeah, yeah.
the three different sides,
Um,
main course. I mean, yeah, go for it.
yeah, it probably has to be, um, some mac and cheese, some Popeyes or Church's chicken, some French fries, and then some type of biscuit. And then the side be like a watermelon. Like
That's like the most poly answer right there.
yeah.
The Church's chicken with the watermelon. Oh my god, man. That was man, I think we had that as a pregame meal. I think Evie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was his pregame meal. He had some Church's chicken, dog. Like,
Yeah.
but man, okay, that's a good. I mean, you can't go wrong with that right there. I mean, you might have a little
Yeah.
bit of runs later on, but it was definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Next question. So you can ooh, I don't know how I was gonna word this one. I don't want to throw you off right now. So if you're playing basketball, right? If you're playing basketball, can't be for the Lakers. What team would you want to play for?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Because I'm through and through Laker Nation over here. That was the case. I'd rather, if it wasn't LA, I'd probably just go save my money and go play in Texas for those two teams, for the Spurs or for the Mavs, or go to Miami. Probably Miami would probably be number one because you get the best of both worlds type deal
Yeah.
and that type of stuff. So yeah, I'll probably be one of those.
All right. So the next question, put us on to a TV show that everybody should watch.
Ooh, there's the most recent one I just seen is called Shooter. I just only seen the first season, but it's about an ex-Marine who gets framed for killing the Ukraine president. So he got set up or whatever, and now he's just trying to find his way out and clean his name pretty much. So
That's right.
watch that first season. That was a good one. But there's a ton of them for sure.
Are you gonna watch Doctor Strange this upcoming week?
I'm not big into Doctor
Oh man.
um, and that whole deal. Yeah, I'm not much into it, so I will not be. But I know my roommates are for sure. They're all about it, all into.
Oh yeah, we can't go on without mentioning your guys' challenges, the roommate challenges, bro.
Oh,
Man, I'm gonna try to clip some of those videos in this episode, but if I can't, man,
yeah,
just I mean, tell everybody about those, man. You guys are hilarious with that, man. Whose
yeah.
idea
No,
was it to do something you guys saw on TikTok or something, or is it? I mean, you guys did a couple of them, right?
Yeah. No, we've done a couple of them. It's kind of just been so. One of my roommates, he's big into TikTok and loves it. His first video ever posted went viral, so he's like, "All right, let's see how we can keep this trend going," type deal. So sometimes he just will come to us out of nowhere, like we won't hear about his TikTok or anything, and then like a week ago, he was like, "Hey, let's do a gritty one. I just want you guys to do it." So then he just recorded all of us randomly, like, "Hey, you ready to do your gritty type deal?" So that's how it kind of just happens. He comes up with the idea, and then we just all just were like, "All right, forget it, let's just do it," type deal. So that's how it comes into play.
That's right. That's right. But two last questions of the day.
Yeah.
First, last, or second to last, or whatever it is. Who is your what, or or who is your why? What is your why?
Um. Yeah, probably have to be for my two set of parents. First, my biological ones. You know everything that they did for me. But when we were younger, so the end of my senior year, we had lost our home, and our first cousin is my dad's brother, who passed away probably a year and a half ago now. He took us in, so we've been living there ever since. So now there's those two people, and that was the only house we could go sleep over. Our parents didn't allow us to sleep over anybody's house really. But when he had passed away, just kind of I felt that I put more burden to just to keep going, and hopefully make it and be able to provide a life for them that they want to live, but also just retire them as well. So they've kind of been on my mind the past year and a half, almost 2 years, knowing that this could be a reality. So I've kind of taken it in stride and see where it can take me.
Man, that's right, man. I mean, like you said, you're gonna continue to do your thing for them, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, your family would say it too, man. Everybody's proud of you, and
Yeah,
you got a movement behind you, bro. Like I said, the OC movement right now is we repping everybody, we supporting
exactly.
everybody, and we want everybody to do the best that they can. And you know what it is, like whatever support, whatever thing you need, you know what I mean. Just lean on the OC family, bro. And that's just one thing I'll say, that we
For
got
sure,
love for everybody across the board, man.
for sure.
So last question. Last question before you go. I ask everybody this. So it's a little two-part question, So
Uh
you
huh.
gotta so who do you want to see on the center lock show? But trick is you gotta help me get them on the show.
Oh, um, that's a good question. I probably would say the Cody Epps, or maybe even Bryce Young. I know they're at Modern Day, or they went to Modern Day, but I know Cody's pretty tight with Bryce Young, so either one of those two would be perfect.
Hey man, you gotta help me out with that though. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I'm
cool
I'm
with
close with Cody, so Cody's my little dude, um, and my little dude will make sure that he answers the call, when I call him.
I appreciate it, man. Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, man? You think Servite gonna beat Modern Day again? Is that gonna happen? I mean, I is come on, man. I thought last year was the year.
I thought it was the year too. I actually went to the CIF game and stuff. It didn't turn out the way it was supposed to, but I think Troy Thomas will get back on his winning ways, and he'll be back where he left
I mean,
off at.
they had some young some dudes out
Young,
there last. That
yeah,
was a
yeah,
I mean, was it T Mac, and then Noah,
yeah,
man. Shout out to them. I mean, go do your things. I mean, Arizona, right? U of A.
yeah,
Hey
yeah,
man, UVA is gonna be that's gonna be a dog of a school. I mean, they got some young cats out there gonna do their thing. But hey
yeah.
man, appreciate you again for coming on, spending some time with me, man. I know it's been a hectic week, and like I said earlier, man, nothing but support for you, and anything you guys need, anything you need to push, whatever it is, man, hit me up. We got
For
you,
sure.
like it's family, you know what I mean? So again, thank you. Appreciate you for coming on, bro.
No, thanks, bro. Love.
That's right, man. Everybody, man, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. We back. We're rolling. We got everything going. And just it's gonna be a good this whole month of May, man. We got great guests, and started off with Neil. But with that being said, man, just thank you guys for tuning in as always, you know, showing the love. And we will be back again next week. So we out.
Love.
Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who pop